Welcome to our third and final episode of the customization of Daryl Dixon from The Walking Dead. As you know, in the first episode, I had looked on eBay for a Threezero figure, and since they've been sold out for a long time now, the prices ranged from a low of $400 to a high of $1,300 to include shipping and handling. And I wasn't going to pay that kind of money for Daryl Dixon, even though I love that character, and Carol Pelletier. So I scoured the internet. I was looking for a head sculpt, Threezero head sculpt. I found such a thing with the body from a trusted internet supplier that I purchased from before, and I got the head and the body. I knew his signature weapon is a crossbow. I have a crossbow, but it's not the right kind. So I went ahead and got a crossbow. I found a very economically priced crossbow. And then in that first episode, I wasn't showing you any of the accessories like the crossbow or anything. I was still waiting for the crossbow. But I was showing you all sorts of clothing items I might be able to use, to include boots. I thought these boots might work, or these hiking shoes / boots might work, and the shirts that might work with them. I thought, well, okay, this shirt could possibly work with these boots, at least a little with this color, but not really the greatest. This shirt would be a better match with the gator part of these boots, but definitely not with these shoes. Black would work better with these hiking shoes, boots. And he did wear black in the show periodically, but on the Threezero figure, he had a shirt that was colored like this, and it just wouldn't work with these boots. So when I finally, in my mind, kind of switched directions, said, why do I even have to use these? Why don't I just use black weathered boots? Then this made sense. So I did cut the sleeves off of this. I'll repurpose this and use them on a steampunk figure, is my guess, as gators or something like that. So I'm constantly thinking of how to repurpose things. So in the second episode, it was all about clothing the figure. I had black pants. I now figured out the shirt I was going to use. I was going to use black weathered boots. And then I was thinking about vest. What do I do about the vest that he's known famously for wearing? And I thought an armored bulletproof vest might work, or a shirt that I had that had cargo pockets on it. This one doesn't have anything on it, but I thought it was a black shirt. I thought I could cut it and make it into a vest. That didn't go very well, but I got out of that process a lot of things I could repurpose. Again, I got sleeves with cargo pockets on them. Again, I'm thinking steampunk. A lot of this stuff I'm just thinking steampunk. That shirt had 4 cargo pockets on the front of the shirt, 2 at the top and 2 at the bottom. I thought, again, steampunk would be a good use for that. When I realized the shirt wouldn't work, I went back to the bulletproof armored vest, and it was too bulky. So I took the padding out. That helped. I did a little tightening of things. On the sides of the vest were straps, 3 straps, which I'm going to repurpose. Steampunk obviously is going to be my choice here. 3 straps on the left, 3 straps on the right with buckles. I took them off, tightened the sides, and sewed them together. Yes, I did so in this situation. I took the zipper off maybe I can use that for something down the road. I don't know. We'll see. And I took off some things that Velcro can attach to that has metal circles that you know, like if you have a sheath with a wire in it and you want to put it between these two metal things, you can put that on your vest. I thought this looked really cool and could be used in a steampunk sort of way. So lots of things that, even though I ruined the shirt, lots of things I can still use and get my, get pleasure out of figuring out how to repurpose it and use it in creative and interesting ways. So I'm a happy camper, despite ruining the shirt. I got the vest to work, and we'll pause now so you can see what I did, not just in terms of the clothing overall, but also the accessorizing. So we will pause and be right back. So here's the finished Daryl Dixon with the black pants, the weathered black boots, the shirt where I cut the sleeves off, the bulletproof armored vest, which I took the padding out, I tightened the sides, I tightened the top, and I turned it inside out so I would get more of a shiny effect versus a rough effect, because his vest is shiny, more leather-like than anything else. I didn't put the emblem on the back because I'm going to pose him facing forward, so I didn't think I had to go that far with the figure. I decided to use, you see him use a gun every so often, but his trademark is, his weapon is a crossbow. But I decided to use a drop-down holster and gun, the gun my husband had made some time ago. The holster I had forever. It's cloth instead of resin or plastic, that sort of thing. It has a place where you can put an extra magazine in it and close it up. It loops over a belt. I put some extra ammo over here, even though I don't think I've ever seen him this way. Again, a lot of artistic freedom, forgive me, but he has to look good for me. So, and then I had a black knife, a black handled knife, silver on the inside, no sheath, couldn't find a sheath that would work with this knife. So I made the sheath out of leather. It's a tight fit. I just started, with it tighter at the end and then kind of shaped it to fit the knife. It definitely is a tight fit. Let me see if I can get it out without dropping the whole figure. Oh my God, it's a tight fit. Yeah. I had a little piece of leather I thought would work. There it is. Finally, it comes out. And then I put one strand of leather behind the sheath so I could loop it over the belt. So it does go back in better than it does come out. He dropped his arrow, so let me put that back here in between his fingers. All right. Yeah, let me put that back over here. So that turned out pretty well. So I have a drop-down holster, a sheath, and a black knife, black handled knife. I found the crossbow on eBay versus a trusted internet supplier. And I forgot to leave something out. I put elastic, I have a whole roll of this stuff. Just cut a piece, use a metal ring down here and use super glue to kind of loop the elastic around to make a strap. And I use some super glue here at the other end to make the strap complete. And then I had, when I mutilated the black shirt, I also had the collar of the shirt that was left over. And I used this collar to create this padding here that would help, be a cushion for him as he wore this over his, the side of his body. Now, in reality, this should be kind of maybe brown, green, that sort of thing, but I wanted it to be black. And I had that black piece, so I was a happy camper. Yeah, so this looks pretty darn good. It came with a ton of arrows, and so I just put two. I had to super glue this on, otherwise it kept falling off. And where you hold the arrows, I super glued that on, otherwise it would fall off. And then I put two arrows in here, and I put one red, I don't know what you call those, feathers, I guess, in his hand. So I think that looks good, and that matches the handkerchief in the back. So some red coordination there, just a little bit. The belt I actually made out of something like this, where you have something, I don't know if you can see it, attached to it. I don't know what was attached to it, but I had two of these, and I just cut this off and used it for the belt. I had a buckle lying around, decided I would use that. So yeah, he came together very nicely. I left these things on because I just think they look cool. So this opens the zipper up down here on the ends, where the foam was at one time. All right, so we will pause now and get him on a turn tray so you can see him from different angles. One last thing I should mention is I took the top fastener off the shirt. Those things look ugly when you don't snap them in place. And he wears the collar open, so there's no need to even have that on there in this situation. Of course, the sleeves are cut, so I'm not going to use it for another figure. So let's just go around and see what we have here. Yeah. Even with a bruise on his arm. There's the little red here for the handkerchief. And the arrow he is holding has red feathers. I think he's looking very good. I'm happy, definitely happy with the outcome. It's better than I expected. It's not perfect. It doesn't line up perfectly with Threezero, but yeah, it turned out better than I expected. So we'll get some close-ups now from here on out. We are back and around again we go. The only thing I think I should add, although they don't come with these figures, are flashlights. You see them use them in the Walking Dead series all the time. So a flashlight would be kind of cool to add to this figure. But until then, I'm just going to be content with this. So we'll get a close-up of his face now. we're just going to do some profile shots here and over here. Yeah, I really like this head. You can get an unbranded head and make your own custom Daryl. It will look fine. But for me, I really wanted the Threezero head. And I was just fortunate enough to stumble on it one day through a trusted internet supplier. I forgot to mention he came with 8 arrows. So he has 2 in the holder on his crossbow. He has one with red feathers in his right hand, and then he has 5 other arrows here. One that's yellow in color. I thought it would be kind of cool if he had a sanded stand to kind of put the arrows in the ground, somewhere. Or I can just lay them across, whatever stand he ends up being on. I guess I'll figure that part out later, but so far, I think, let me just turn them a little bit more here. Yeah, I'm tickled to death he came out so well. And I figured out the vest part. That was the hardest thing to try to figure out. So I hope you've liked what you've seen. If you have, consider giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. In the meantime, everyone, please have a great day.